Hello and welcome back to the She Gallery Show. My name is Dulce Maria Diaz. I am founder and director of Sharing His Energy Gallery, that is She Gallery, nonprofit out of Chicago. Today is the beginning of a new season. We are very happy to be back with Can TV. Last season was cut short because of coronavirus 2019, a virus that we have all become very familiar with, not just here in our neighborhood, not just here in our city, not just in our state, not just in our states, but like in the entire world. So this is something that has affected absolutely everybody in a new way of living. We're looking at things completely different. Life was interrupted for absolutely everybody, and some people's lives were interrupted permanently, meaning that we've lost many lives throughout the world. I don't know the number offhand, but it's been thousands and thousands, and you have enough of those numbers on the news every single day. But today we are here to reflect on some of the things that have gone on, some of the events that She Gallery has worked on during COVID, how life has changed for many, not just for COVID, but also the killing of George Floyd that has also provoked many protests and demanded much change, coming from the Black Lives Matters movement. And we're also going to reflect on our collaboration with the Illinois Special Olympics, another sensitive topic of many of you may know somebody, or you yourself are dealing with somebody that has autism or is in special needs. So that was very special for us to be able to work with them, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. And unfortunately, this is not a call-in show. This is a new way of living again. So this season, you will not see me here with any guest, but we will have some guests. We plan to have some guests via Zoom coming up, so we can continue to try to work through what we were doing before, continue to give opportunity to other leaders, community leaders, activism leaders. I think that change of conversation, it has happened really, really fast. So everybody's changing the narrative. Everybody's demanding to change the narrative. And last season was cut short. We had 3 more guests that we had welcomed. One of them was a band. So they were going to share with us their inspiration, how they started their band, teenage boys. And then we had a local artist, Tubbs, who didn't make it to the show. He was going to share his story. And then we were going to have a musician, Hector, who was also going to share his story. He had a near-death experience and how music helped him and shaped him. And those were all very important topics, but it seems like the season, it's almost like we're forced to talk about social events. It's almost like we're forced to talk about what's going on and how it's affecting us. And it's something that we want to share with the public, and we want to be able to include the public, even though right now everybody's practicing social distance. It's a very important time for us to stay together. And how we're able to do this when everybody has to stay home, I think a lot of people want to help, and a lot of people don't know how. You're hearing all these community leaders. It's been very refreshing to see grassroots leaders like Activate S.H.E, and many other nonprofits come together in a very small period of time to try to address issues. There's issues like COVID that we cannot do anything about except do our best to practice social distance, to wash our hands, as Sylvia reminded me, try not to touch your face. All these little things that we can help our neighbor do and say, so that we can continue to try to beat this epidemic until we get some solutions. So for right now, it's very important for us to all do our part so that we can all stay healthy and safe. So a little bit of how She Gallery was interrupted due to COVID. We were working with Green Card veterans, who some of you may remember we had introduced on the show. We were working on a fundraiser with them where we were going to share art, share a little bit more of the story, what this organization does, this nonprofit organization, and how they have helped Green Card veterans, and how they continue to try to change the narrative and change laws so that we can continue to help raise awareness and change these laws. They've done a great job thus far. You may remember we had Miguel Perez, who was one of the deported veterans that was brought back, and he became a citizen through this organization, and LULAC, and many political figures that were able to help, such as Tammy Duckworth and Chuy Garcia, who we're planning to recognize during this fundraiser. So unfortunately, that did not take place. Green Card Veterans continues to work towards social injustices within their system, within their community. And I was also working with two female artists, Azana and Simone, on a social media exhibition that we had planned to have this summer. We were going to talk about how social media has affected us. And maybe we can still do that because everybody's kind of been, everybody's familiar with Zoom now. We're gonna be doing some Zoom here, and Google Duo and all these other apps that are now becoming very popular because we're almost forced to use social media as a main platform for communication. Which is a great thing. So that's something else that was cut short that we had done. So during the beginning of this epidemic, I think everybody was in shock. The first thing when you don't know what's going on and your city shut down and they tell you at work, hey, you gotta go, we don't know when we're coming back. Hey, you lost your job, we don't know if you're gonna have a job. Hey, we lost businesses, so many businesses have been gone, so we don't know what's gonna happen with our economy. A lot of things are still mysteries to us, and there's a lot of stress levels are going up. So mental health issues that was already an issue is increasing. I've personally known many people that were never really had these problems, are going through these problems because they don't know how to deal with the debts that COVID has brought on. And those are things that we cannot do anything about, but what we can do is try to take care of our neighbors and try to say, hey, you're not alone, because truly we are all on this boat. So during S.H.E Gallery has been around now for 5 years. September is going to be exactly 5 years that it became a nonprofit, and we had our first exhibition in June of 2015. And since, we've had the chance to work with many really beautiful people, both artists or organizers or just people from the community that want to step up and work and do something. So very early on, I want to say maybe even in April, we're in July now, a few of the girls that we had been working with in the past, that we had gotten together to put together the annual domestic violence. We had workshops, and then we also had the events annually at in Logan Square. So a group of those women and other women that we had worked with in the past, not only advocates for domestic violence but also for sexual assault. They all came together. Hey, can we do something? Can we do something during this epidemic to help others? So I had so many different people having the same conversation or wanting to have the same conversation. So we set up a meeting and we said, okay, what are we going to do? How can we help? What do we have? What are our resources? And we used our talents to try to help victims of domestic violence during COVID. We all know that domestic violence is an issue every single day, but those people that were stuck in their house with domestic violence really, really, really experienced it times 10 during this year. And it's something that maybe many of us are not familiar with and don't want to be familiar with, but it's a reality that happened throughout the world. So Lifespan is an organization, a nonprofit organization, that one of the women that had worked with us before, you may remember her, Catherine Byrne. She sits on the board with Lifespan, and we had went to one of their galas before, and what they do every year is they raise funds for this organization. And this year they couldn't do that because of COVID. So we said, well, that would be an organization that we would like to sponsor, that we would like to help raise money for the people that seek shelter from them or any kind of aid. So we all took our talents. We all used our art. Many used visual, poetry, dance, and we did our best to raise funds for the organization. And we want to thank from the bottom of our hearts everybody that contributed from $5 to $200. Every little bit counted, and every bit went directly to Lifespan. So we want to thank you, and we want to thank all of the artists that made this happen. Every single day we were posting posts of different artworks, of information, resources, letting people know that they were not alone. And we want to share some of those clips with you. So I'm going to take you on over to our web PC. She Gallery, sharinghisenergygallery.net, is currently under construction. So if you do visit our website, you will see She Gallery is under construction, and we look forward to seeing the upgrade that will hopefully be easier to navigate and that you can connect with us. You can still connect with us through our Instagram page. And here I just want to show that this is our main Instagram page. And you will note that we have broken down to 3 sections. That is the She Gallery Show Can TV, which is where we are at here today. Here you can find different segments from previous shows. So you can visit our page, you can follow us, you can stay in touch. And then we have She Gallery Helping Hands. This is where we have used this page specifically for when we help with fundraisers, when we help with other organizations, or when we're just trying to help our community. So, sorry about that. I think it's gonna make me log in, maybe. Okay, so I'm just gonna take you to this page where we give thank you to everybody that helped raise funds for our organization or for Lifespan. Okay.
My name is Denise Wolf Markham, and I am the Executive Director of Lifespan.
I'm JB Mans from Lifespan. Thank you very much to the She Gallery for doing this virtual event.
Hello, my name is Amanda Salcedo, and I am an artist and dancer.
I'm Catherine Byrne, President of the Board of Directors at Lifespan.
My name is Dana Marino, and I am a visual artist.
Hi there, my name is Kate Taylor Battle, and I am here today to talk to you a little bit about a fundraiser that we're doing for Lifespan.
Hi, my name is Marina Dobrosavljevic, and I'm an author and an artist.
Hello, my name is Dulce Maria Diaz. I am founder and director of nonprofit Sharing His Energy Gallery, She Gallery.
Save victims' lives. So we're asking for your financial support, and we thank you.
For survivors and their children, thank you for anything you can do today.
Anything you can donate, any amount, is much appreciated. Thank you, and be well.
Please consider making a donation to Lifespan today.
These women who are a part of my greater community, and I would urge anyone who can give what they can to Lifespan.
I really appreciate your support during this time, and stay safe. Thanks.
It's organizations such as Lifespan that help victims of domestic violence get their lives back.
To help aid those in need. Thank you so much.
My name is Denise Wolf Markham.
All right, so that was kind of cool. So you got a little sense of everybody that was involved. We had Amanda Salcedo, we had Simone, we had Dana, we had well, you guys just met everybody right now, but it was just a very beautiful thing to see these different women, whether they had experienced domestic violence directly or not. They came together to aid those that knew needed this help during this time when everybody really, really does feel alone. And I just want to share this history of violence against the Woman Act. This was put together by artist and activist Zana Zeta. We encourage you to look up the VAWA Act. Many people are not informed about this, and there is always something that you can do by just speaking up and saying that you support this act. Now let's go take a look at our Helping Hands page and share some more of the videos and works that these women put together specifically for this fundraiser. That was extremely special. We wanted to remind everybody that when stay home and stay safe are not the same. For many, it was extremely important to stay home and stay safe, but that wasn't necessarily the case for many of us. These were some colorings that coloring pages that Zana put together that we were giving away for others to just paint and know that they have a space to release a creative outlet. Then here we have a poem by artist Marina, and I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, but she goes by artist name Blue by M. This is one of her paintings. And let's just get her video here.
Growth. Engulfed by the unknown, flying far away, looking for the path back, hoping for a familiar day. Searching all over, not sure what you hope to find. Possibly you look for the known, not present in the current time. Surrounded by beauty, it makes one feel inferior. Knowing you know nothing makes all seem superior. Not sure how it even has come to be. How did you tread here? Now what is there to find? I'll just reach for the steer. On one side it's terror. You no longer can exist in a way that you know. On the other side a chance, an opportunity to change and grow. Possibly there was a need to get lost. Maybe it was the only way for you to see. Maybe it's easier to learn the new when left without a choice. Maybe now you can be who you were destined to be. Slowly you adjust, begin to transform. The old you dies out and a new beauty is formed.
It's very
Grow.
beautiful. One of the other beautiful things about working together with these women is that as we continue to create these creations, some girls came with different ideas and they said, you know, why don't we collaborate on something? Why don't we get together? So it was actually Marina's idea to first ask. This is Amanda Salcedo. Many of you may remember her. She's been on the show with us before. She's worked with us now for many years, volunteering her time, making sure that she's involved with the community and shares her talents. Amanda is a professional dancer and instructor with Ensemble Español, so we are extremely grateful for her and many of these other professional women that are volunteering their time to help aid those in need. This is a dance that Amanda put together in the comfort of her own home, in her living room, and it was one of the pieces that we were able to share during this fundraiser. This is another one of our artists that we were working with, Simone, who I had mentioned that Zana and her, we had started to work on an exhibition for social media, addressing how social media affects us in every single way. So here was a different creative way to introduce our fundraiser and to let people know exactly what we were doing and let people know that we're here to help in any way that we can. We may not have funds, but we have talents that we can use to share. And thank everybody again for everybody that donated. Here we have more information that we shared. We kind of reflected on some of the events that we've had with Logan Square now. We thank the people that published these articles about what we were doing online for us, that also continue to help us. Financial abuse is something else that we had addressed during this fundraiser. And I'm just going to share one more collaboration before we move on. Here we have Marina and Amanda again. Oh, it went away. And again, you're welcome to visit our Instagram page and check
She
these
is
out.
mighty,
And when you visit
as mighty
our
as the sun,
Facebook page, you
which
can
brings
also
warmth.
check out all of the
She
posts on there as
produces
well that
that
may not all be
which is
on the
necessary
Instagram
to
page.
bring forth life, yet she is capable to burn it all to ashes. She is radiant,
And again, this is
others
when
are
we
drawn
pushed
to her.
the envelope,
She is a
and Marina
force.
here said, "Hey,
She
Amanda, do
is
you mind if we
untouchable.
collaborate on something?"
Her strength comes
And
from
then Marina
within and
asked me, "Hey, can we
explodes,
collaborate on
touching it
something?"
all,
Then Amanda
whether
and I
near
collaborated on
or
something. So
far.
before you knew, we were all collaborating.
She is the
You
driving
can see
force
here
of the
practicing
universe.
social distance. So we
Her
got
rays
extremely
touch to the
creative
far
as time
depths
went
of
on,
that
and
around her.
the
Yet she
levels
exists
of the
only
COVID
dependent
lockdown
on
changed. We were
herself.
able to collaborate on a
Her
closer
power is so
level.
strong
But this
that
is
she
just an
holds it all
example
together.
of one of the ways that we were
Without
able to
her,
do that in a safe way.
everything would cease to
So
exist.
again, this is something that when everybody felt like, what are we doing with our time? Everybody's at home, bored, reading books, cooking, or drinking and causing trouble. Whatever people were doing, it was very beautiful to see all of these people come together, all of these women come together and help raise funds for Lifespan. So we again thank everybody that was involved with that. And during that conversation, we said we should be called something, the Broken Glass Collective, aside from She Gallery. That's what this group wanted to call itself. So hopefully you hear back more about the Broken Glass Collective as we continue to work together on other projects. We also had a chance to work with the Illinois Special Olympics. This is something that was already in the works. You may remember one of the guests that we had here, Teasel, and he shared some opportunities, which is something that not a lot of artists do, which is also something that we want to touch on. Right now we're at a time where everybody's thinking differently. We're changing the narrative. We want to help each other out. She Gallery is known to help other artists. So this is not something rare for She Gallery to do, but it is kind of rare for an individual artist to do, which it shouldn't be. So we want to thank artists that encourage and help other artists and help give opportunities. It is extremely hard to be an artist and try to get yourself out there. So when people share those opportunities, we really want to share the respect for those kind of artists. And I just want to share one more piece. Sorry, I forgot to share this one. This is our counselor, Diana Mendez. This is something that her daughter wanted to do. So this is Diana's daughter, 11-year-old. This is something that she contributed for our fundraiser, and it's called Don't End My Lifespan. So this is the perspective of an 11-year-old. And I think that's important. So let's take a look at, we're going to go back to our Raising Awareness page. Oh, this is our Helping Hands Raising Awareness page on Instagram. And let's go back to our homepage right over here. Okay, here we go. And this is the duck that my brother, who's also one of the members, art directors, he does our designs, and he's also our technical engineer here at the station. We collaborated on this piece together. This is this reads disabled, the ability to do anything you set your mind to. So Nick Diaz, whose artist name is Nags, my brother, he was shot in the head 21 years ago, 22 years ago actually, July 10th. And so he's been in a wheelchair ever since. And in a wheelchair and having been shot in the head and extremely limited, he put himself through school, he got himself his degree, and he lives a life, on the most normal life that he possibly could. And this is a message that he wanted to share with everybody. This is the disabled, the ability to do whatever you set your mind to. This was a very special project because it was something that we collaborated on together. And he is my older brother, and he's a great source of inspiration for much of what we've done here, especially in achieving your dreams or trying to reach your dreams without any limitations, to give yourself these opportunities. So we are the only ones that stop ourselves from doing anything that we want to do. And that's the message that Nick wanted to share with everybody. You see here us working, you see him with one hand, only his left hand. And he is like using this super thin brush, and he's telling me, Dulce, I'm not an artist, I'm a designer, but now he becomes an artist. And I think it's really important to note that just do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, just do it. If you're setting your mind to any kind of dreams, just do it. And don't let anything stop you. If somebody that does not have the capability of using all of their physical abilities, or if they have like autism or any kind of disability can do it, then you can too. And if you do have a disability, or you are dealing with somebody with autism, especially children, there's a lot of young moms that have talked to me, and they really appreciate this talk. They appreciate what Illinois Special Olympics is doing. What they did was they chose 25 artists, or organizations such as S.H.E Gallery. We represent S.H.E Gallery here. And they placed 25 ducks on the Mag Mile. In Chicago, you can visit the Mag Mile. That is the Michigan Avenue Strip downtown. And visit all of these ducks that all of these artists put together, especially to help raise awareness for this cause. This was our special contribution, and everything had symbolism. The rainbow is spread out. That's inclusiveness. We wanted to make sure that we included everybody, the dreams and the hope. That's
Bye, guys.
what the
Thank
stars
you.
and the clouds represent. So every little detail on that duck did have a special meaning. And this is something that my brother and I were able to do during COVID. So we were able to stay creative during this time. And here we have all of the other ducks that this organization, that this nonprofit put together. So this is the Chicago Derby.
Hey, Splash!
Sorry.
Let's invite our friends to watch the virtual.
So some of you may be familiar with the duck derby. But okay, here we go. These are all of the ducks that were placed on the Mag Mile. Let's take a look. Something else that was very special about this is, again, Tiso, for example, shared the opportunity with us. And then we got to know that some other artists that we had worked with in the past, and other organizations such as Nonprofit Erador, also had dogs, so that was kind of cool too. And just seeing new artists come together and try to pass their message of what this means to them through arts. Somebody with autism, with the Special Olympics, instead of half the most people that I know are involved. And that's also a very beautiful thing to continue to communicate with our neighbors, with our strangers, with anybody that we can find any support. And I think that it's very important to support each other during this time, and hopefully throughout the future, especially now that it feels like we are facing so many different challenges. So speaking of challenges, something that we've all felt. Everybody felt the epidemic, everybody felt COVID, but very interestingly, everybody also felt the death of George Floyd. This was the first year ever, and I'm sure that many of you felt this way, that like they said, okay, Juneth is off. You get to go home early, we're celebrating Juneth, and everybody said, what's Juneth? Very little people knew what Juneth was. And Juneth is a celebration, here we go, that or we commemorate, reflect on this moment that happened, that took place in 1865, where it was the end of an official enslavement in the United States. And then I add that it was the start of a systematic racism that still persists more than 150 years ago. I mean, later. And I say that it still persists because it does. Because that happened. Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't sharing the screen with you because this took place. And this took place May 25th of 2020. And I don't think I will ever forget that day. And I don't think that you will ever forget that day. I think that May 25th, 2020 marks a time in history almost like 9/11 where you just don't forget. And that is why today in July we are still protesting. People are still demanding change. People are furious. And it is because we've been dealing with this for way too long and people are demanding change. We want to thank organizations such as Black Lives Matters, Activate S.H.E, and all of these community leaders that are helping change the narrative. Really want to give shout outs to organizations that are recognizing that we need these changes. It's really neat to see like soccer players with like Black Lives Matters, or my Bitmoji has like a Black Lives Matter shirt, things that you never saw in the past before. So hopefully it's leading towards a positive change of inclusiveness and recognizing how bad of an issue this has been for many of us. So I am of brown. I am an immigrant. And I feel, and I mean, I'm not a black person, but I can feel the struggle. I can feel how difficult it is to advance, to try to advance, to be respected. Something that happened many years ago where we said that we found our freedom, but if we had found our freedom, we would not be having these problems. And it's something that we're still demanding today. So during this time, many artists got together again, and you see many murals, and you see many people that want to get involved. And we had one of the members from the Hyde Park Art Center, another nonprofit here in Chicago, reach out, and they asked if we could do a mural in a poor neighborhood of the city. Sorry, I just have to like find the page here. Here we go. So this is one of the murals. This is a mural that we put together at the Ketsi Plaza. And what this reads is Struggles Unidos. And that's almost like a funny, because struggle, like you may know the word struggle. So struggle is kind of like a Mexican way, you know, you're pronouncing it. You're trying to pronunciate what it's saying. So Struggles Unidos. Unidos means unity. The reason that I chose Mickey Mouse and these type of fonts is because I look at Mickey Mouse as something that we can all relate to. You can come from a poor neighborhood, a rich neighborhood. Everybody knows Disney. And Disney's message was to believe. So what I tried to do for this piece, for this mural, was paint faces of perhaps different genres, without really expressions, but it's saying love is the message, and we're all in the struggle together. But we have to let love be that message, be that solution. We have to let love be the solution to all of the problems. We have to let love be the solution for COVID. Let it be enough that you care so much about your neighbor that you don't want them to get sick. So you're going to practice your social distancing. You're not going to spit on people at pizza places or shoot people because they're asking you to wear a mask. So it is, again, love that has to stand and fight that fight, the compassion, the empathy for so many people that have lost their lives and their loved ones' lives to this virus. So again, we have to let love be the center of people that are going through mental health issues, people that are dealing with people that are disabled, lifespan, poor health insurance, mental health. Love has to be the answer, the compassion to find those solutions, to find the resources. Love has to be the compassion and the reason that we finally really push for social justice in racism and sexism and so many different issues that we've faced for many, many years. Love has to be what makes that push. And we invite everybody to stand together and to unite. We want to thank everybody here at CAN TV for staying as safe as possible. We are adjusting to these changes, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you.